I made a version of this video last year that was mainly geared towards minimalism because that was what I was focused on last year. But seeing as this year I am more focused on no buy and general frugality, I felt like I could modify the messaging that I had in my last video towards people who are trying to save money and in general just need someone like me to give you a bit of tough love about why you don't need to buy new things during this fall and Halloween season. Okay, now last year what I kind of got into, I had like 3 little tips that I gave people. Obviously some of those things still can and do apply when it comes to a no buy year, because sometimes minimalism and no buy and sustainability are all kind of tied up in a similar Venn diagram. But I'm going to see what I can do in order to completely de-influence you from spending any money at all during this autumn season. And I am going to warn you, it is some tough love. So here are a couple of new steps to follow or things to think about before you bring any new things into your home. Hopefully it can help you steel yourself to not bring in any more sweaters or new Uggs or new candles or new books or whatever. So buckle up for the tough love. Okay, I feel like the motto of this year is remember your why, because I feel like I start off every no buy or frugality or anti-consumerism type of video content with that messaging. And honestly, it's for a reason, because a lot of the times when we are purchasing things, we are not thinking. We are not thinking rationally. We are not thinking about the long-term effects of these things, whether that be environmentally or financially or storage wise. We kind of just buy things because they're there and they're cute and we think that it's gonna make us happy and whatever. Obviously, I'm not going to discount the small dopamine rush that you get when you do purchase something new. I understand it. That's why I'm doing a no buy year, because I am still recovering from being in the clutches of that dopamine high. But step 1 really is to ground yourself and realize that you are just buying into years and years and years of marketing and psychological manipulation that consumerism is pushing on you in order to buy these things to feel some type of way during the autumn and spooky seasons that we are going into right now. Think about your why. Why are you saving money? Why are you in credit card debt? Why are you trying to get out of credit card debt? What are you saving for? What kind of life do you want to lead as a person? What is important to you? This is all tied up in your why. And you need to ground yourself into these things and actually genuinely spend a moment thinking about them, because it's only gonna help you in the long run. And then, yeah, right off the bat, we are going straight into the psychoanalysis. Think about your desires or wants. Maybe you want a new mug that has some pumpkins on it, or you want a throw blanket that has some leaves on it, or you want some more candles to set the vibe, or you want some more whatever. Obviously, all of it is a want and none of it is a need. So start there. If you are really trying to limit yourself from any kind of frivolous purchasing, I would just say cut it off right there. But at the same time, it might be valuable to think about why you want to purchase things in the first place. Unfortunately, when it comes to minimalism, frugality, any kind of anti-consumerist anything, what you're gonna want to do is think about what is lacking in your life that you feel the need to fill it with buying something. I understand. I'm not saying any of this in a judgmental way. I am here to hold your hand through this painful process because I was with you. I was you not too long ago, and in a sense I still am. because it's hard to see all of this messaging all over Instagram, YouTube, literally every freaking social media platform you see, especially Pinterest, oh my god, of just like all these aesthetic things and like all these things that you think are gonna make you so happy and blah blah blah, when you're really just spending your money on things that are just a band-aid for a deeper issue. And yes, obviously go to therapy, you should journal, journaling is free, do what you need to do to take care of your mental health and like things that are going on in your life. But I personally don't believe that spending money on something that'll make you happy and bring you joy every single time that it comes up is really solving the bigger issue. So why do you need to buy things? Is it a need for control? Do you feel like you're losing control in certain aspects of your life and you feel like you need to regain that control by purchasing something so that you feel like you can exert a little bit of power over something in your life? There's lots of other alternatives, and I'll get more into that later, of how you can scratch that itch without spending money. Another really real one that I am super guilty of is just buying something to feel something. Are you feeling depressed, anxious, hopeless, overwhelmed? A really easy way to solve that for about 5.5 seconds is by buying something and being like, yeah, wow, this will make me feel better. It's just a little treat. How many times a year are you going to say that you're buying yourself a little treat before $1,000 have vanished out of the money that you've made throughout the year? And what do you have to show for it? A couple of trinkets? I don't think that's worth it in my opinion, but that just might be me. I think there are certain things that you can definitely think about and spend your money on, but if it's just like, ooh, I'm feeling kind of sad, I better just blah, 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 no. Get to the deeper issue. Try to go to therapy if you can, journal if you can, that's free. Take a walk outside, do something with your body, remove your mind from the stimuli, and I promise it will help. So recap on point number 1. Ground yourself. Think about your why and try to get to the deeper root issue of why you might be feeling the need to purchase new things. Okay, number 2, moving on from that. Once you've psychoanalyzed yourself a little bit and had a bit of a reflection about why you're feeling the need to buy certain things, I'm not gonna tell you that you can't decorate for fall. I'm not trying to rob you of a good time. I'm not trying to yuck your yum. I just want everyone to realize that we don't need to be spending money to be enjoying things in life. You know what I mean? So I would strongly urge you to assess what you already have in terms of decoration, in terms of homewares, access to certain activities or pastimes. For me personally, what really helps me get in the fall mood is reading spooky books, reading fantasy, mystery thrillers, and I happen to have a library card. So that solves my problem and it costs me $0 in the process. I also already own 1 or 2 candles, and guess what? That's really all I need to set the vibe. Sure, the scents are kind of summery, but do I care? No, because it's about the ambiance. I talked about this in my last video last year, where hygge is kind of just like a state of mind, a state of being. You don't need to buy new things to make it all happen. I think, unfortunately, a lot of the reasons why people want to decorate is probably because they want to feel joy, they want to feel something, they want to feel a certain vibe that they're trying to chase. But at the end of the day, not to sound super cheesy or anything, but it comes from inside of you. You know what I mean? Like, what's the thing? Like, the magic is inside of you already. You don't need to buy other things to make that happen in your home. I don't feel the need to excessively decorate because fall is already inside of me. You know what I mean? Like, autumn is a state of mind, not a statement on my credit card bill. And it doesn't have to be. So with assessing what you already have, see if you genuinely feel the desire to get more things. And if you still do, if you're like, guess what, Grace, my favorite season in the whole world is autumn, and the only thing that makes me feel even a modicum of joy every single year is buying some pumpkins and putting them on my mantelpiece and taking out all my spooky decorations and putting them up. Hey, guess what? That's amazing. How much do you already own? How much more do you need? What would suggest if you bought all this already and bought more and still don't feel certain things, what makes you think that buying more is going to make you feel something this time? I'm sorry, but the really harsh reality is buying things is not going to solve your mental health issues. And I know that sounds really mean and super, super tough love, but it's genuinely just the reality. Like, I get it. I'm super anxious. I am super overwhelmed. I'm constantly overstimulated. I used to buy things just to feel something, to feel calm, to feel like I had control over something in my life. And guess what it got me? Thousands of dollars in credit card debt. Literally, that's it. It gave me about this much joy for about this much amount of time and did not solve any of my problems. No, it did. Journaling, therapy, dancing, going outside, doing things, connecting with my loved ones, family and friends. What I'm saying is consumerism is not the answer, okay? And if you're watching this video, you probably already know that, but maybe you just need someone to remind you. Every so often, I feel like de-influencing is kind of a bit more of a trend nowadays. Hopefully this video finds some people that are genuinely having a hard time and need someone to tell them. But like, at a certain point, you just need to learn to sit in the discomfort, sit in the icky feelings a little bit, and just realize that everything will be okay if you don't purchase that ghost mug from Target or that pumpkin blanket from Marshall's. You know what I mean? Like, your life is not going to be over. You will be fine and everything's going to be okay. You don't need a new pair of Uggs to fit in. You don't need to buy a pumpkin spice latte in order to ring in the fall. You can go to the grocery store and make it yourself, and it's so much cheaper and it feels so much better. You feel so much more fulfilled that you did it yourself. Anyways, I'm a little bit going off on a tangent. I just feel really strongly about this. It makes me really sad that we've been marketed towards to feel that we are not enough, we are not celebrating things in the right way if we don't have all of this excessive crap. They're just trying to make money off of us. And the world's finances are in fucking shambles right now, let's be completely honest. The last thing you need to do is spend $200 at Walmart and finance some mega millionaires, CEOs' pockets. You know what I mean? Anyways, off of my tangent, on to point number 3. See if you can find the things that you want or need in a way that you don't have to spend money. Ask family and friends, ask your local no-buy group if you have access to that. Try to scour Facebook Marketplace. Try to DIY stuff that you already own or things that you already have, because first of all, you can make a ton of decorations from things that you already own in your own home. You can probably ask family and friends to lend you or give you old clothes or things that they don't need or want anymore if you are in dire need of like more sweaters or things or whatever. Like, I'm not telling you not to buy things if you genuinely need them, but think about what you actually need and what you just like want. You know what I mean? If you have no sweaters that fit you, try to go the cheaper alternative first. Like, go to a thrift store, ask a family or friend, ask a buy nothing group if you can. There are alternatives to just going straight to buying something new, buying something that's fast fashion, buying something that was probably made in a sweatshop. Not to get all whatever about it, but at the end of the day, that's kind of the reality of these autumnal and Halloween season marketing campaigns to get you to spend money on like literal plastic garbage. And if you really, really, really need to buy new things, set a limit. Like, go to a store or go to a thrift store and like literally bring a friend and tell them, no matter what I say, no matter what I do, only let me spend $20, whatever, and do not let me leave if I've spent or want to spend more money than that, because I am trying to do something and I don't have enough willpower to make it happen myself. That is totally fine. I get it. Like, I used to have to time myself when I went into thrift stores and like set up appointments or things afterwards so that I could only spend a certain amount of time there, or only bring cash so that you only have that amount of money to spend and you cannot spend on anything else. I know that like Apple Wallet's also a thing nowadays, but like, make it a thing. You know what I mean? It's pretty much all a mind game at this point. That's essentially all that I wanted to say in terms of point number 3, which is to see what you can get for free, secondhand, lower the cost as much as you possibly can. There are so many ways to get things for free in this world with the internet nowadays that it almost baffles my mind that I spent money on certain things in the past, because oh my gosh, the way that this no buy year has completely changed my brain chemistry in terms of like what I actually need to be spending money on. I have gotten just as many things as I got last year and have spent nothing. Absolutely nothing on them. Part of that is because my friends and family have been really supportive during this no buy year, but at the same time, I was also getting a couple of those things for free from friends and family that are like, oh, I don't really use this anymore. Do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, that's actually really useful to me. Thanks so much. Where there's a will, there's a way, okay? And the no buy year will provide for you. Not saying you have to go all the way to no buy or even low buy or whatever, but if you're trying to be frugal, if you're trying to save money, there are a million ways to get what you want or need without spending money. And I just want us to remind ourselves of that you don't have to just spend money the second that a problem comes up in your life. A lot of things are not as urgent as you think they are, and they can actually wait a little while for you to find a creative solution for them. Or the problem or the desire or urge will fade away and pass on its own. That's something that I've experienced many times throughout this whole year challenge as well. All in all, I would just say to be really conscious of what you're bringing into your home, how much money you're spending on it, really thinking about what you actually need versus what you just kind of really want or whatever. I'm gonna share the same quote that I did last year when me and Bestie Kelly were talking about all the stuff that people do to decorate for the holidays, any holiday for that matter. She said, we have all the stuff we need to get cozy. New crap doesn't make things cozier. And I totally agree. We likely have all the things that we already need in terms of trying to make a space cozy. So why spend money when you can just use what you already have? As I mentioned before, Hygge is a principle of coziness and cultivating that kind of vibe in your home, and I feel like that's the vibe that we are chasing when we go for autumnal decorations and spooky stuff. There's a lot of things that we can DIY. There's a lot of things that we already own. Tea, a mug, a blanket, socks, sweaters, ambiance on YouTube, all these things exist. Jazz, classical music, whatever. All I'm saying is we don't need to be spending money on useless crap, so stop buying crap. Stop buying garbage to fill your home. If you want to get it from a friend, that's great. If you're gonna keep it and appreciate it and use it, that's even better. I'm so happy for you. But we don't need to be spending money on new crap that we don't need, we don't use, we don't appreciate, we use for like 3 months out of the year. If you're gonna be using this stuff all year round, go for it, whatever. I'm not trying to yuck your yum, take everything with a grain of salt because your life is your life. You know yourself better than I do, obviously. And I'm just here to support the people that are really having a struggle internally with how they're going to not spend money this fall season. Like, there are so many options, so many things you can do, so many ways to spend less than $5 making things exciting and decorating for your home. Buy a thing of tea, get a few pumpkins. Like, it doesn't have to be hundreds of dollars of garbage, you know what I mean? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful and that you took some benefit from this video. I'm gonna go paint my nails burgundy to feel in the fall spirit while spending $0 and having a grand old time. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, I am sending you all my love because we are all just trying our best out here, okay? Don't let the marketers get to you. You can do it. Stay strong.